Listen, everybody has the entitled to their opinions and what they think we all are, but we don't always agree. And a lot of the things that she says, among some other people, I don't particularly agree with. But hey, at the end of the day, we all have, the space to give our thoughts and opinions and things of that nature. And I just find it ironic. I really find it ironic, and I would be lying if I wouldn't say this, that, it's very interesting how people, and we all can get caught up in this. And, I think a lot of times people think that because, they say, just because they think something that is the truth. I think we have a lot of people who are giving advice who don't have the experience to back it up, in my opinion. So I think there are a lot of people, especially in my opinion, when it comes to Cheyenne Bryant and some others, I think they're giving advice and they don't have the experience. I personally don't think that you can counsel, that you should. You can, but I don't think you should counsel married couples or couples who are married or intending on getting married if you are not married. That's just my take on it. If you have not been married for 10 plus years with, and gone through the trenches with a man and gone through the ups and the downs in your marriage, I don't think that you are suitable to give marital advice. I just don't think so. I think that the people who actually have that experience could give more advice to you. And I find it also ironic that a lot of the people who have the most advice and say they have the most credentials and degrees on these topics don't have the relationship, don't have the marriage. And that says a lot. And we can't just dismiss that. I think because in any other situation, this wouldn't fly. So let's hop into this first clip. Now, this clip comes from Love and Fly-ish. I'm gonna say ish, but Love and Fly shit is what it's called. Podcast. This is a married couple now. Now, this is a married couple who are they're interviewing Cheyenne Bryant, and I want y'all to hear what she's saying in this interview, which I find interesting. I find a lot of her takes interesting, but let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. Here we go.
How can a low value man be high functioning? That's what I want to know. How can a low value man be high functioning? Tell me that.
Hold on, let me take me a
Yeah,
no,
me too.
Because no, that does what you just said leads into that question. Because when he took it straight, he said, "Hold on, y'all had your woman talk.
We're going way too low."
Okay. How can a low value man be high functioning?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to clear this up.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels used his low value or his term of value as the noun of value, which is morals and values, which I love that too. I loved his term as well, right? Morals and values of a person. I use the value term as an adjective word, which is value in your success, your accolades, your money, your relationships, what you got going on socially, economically. So when I say a man can be low value, that just means that he doesn't make a lot of money. His economic status isn't high. He's not affluent. High functioning just means that this man has emotional intelligence. He has ability to regulate his emotions. He has ability to sit and create resolve with us and not bring in more impairment into our conversation, right? A perfect example of high functioning is what me and your beautiful wife just said.
Yeah.
We had a perception exchange. There's things that she heard me say that she pushed back on, but there was never a time where our emotions wouldn't allow us to receive each other.
Right.
Yeah,
And still not have a respectful conversation. And after this, still give a hug and love on each other and have a glass of wine if we wanted to, right? So again, low value man is a man who just economically isn't affluent.
Gotcha.
Doesn't make a lot of money, just to put it out there easy. High functioning means this man can have a conversation.
Okay.
This man can regulate his emotions.
Okay.
He can receive the difference in opinion, right? He is not fleeing or sabotaging the conversation as soon as things don't go his way because his inability to sit in uncomfortable emotions or sit in discomfort when the table isn't turning to him. The high value, low functioning man, which is a lot of men many men who are in power are high value, low functioning. High value meaning what? They got the money, they got the value, they got the home, they got the real estate portfolio, they got the yacht, they can travel, right? They can in their illusion and their fake fairy tale ideology can purchase a woman. Woman can't be bought. That's a whole nother episode.
They can't be bought. They being bought every day.
Let's talk about that too.
They being bought right now.
And men are getting exactly what they're paying for.
And when you say that, what you mean?
They get what they pay for. That's
like
you ready? They getting either vagina, an STD, or a baby mama.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you buying. You can't buy substance. You can't buy love. You can't buy this. You can't buy marriage. This ain't bought. Okay, this ain't bought. This is built. This is built. This is intimacy. This is love. This is conversation. This is love each other by knowledge of each other. This can't be bought.
For sure.
You have a woman.
Well, you can't buy love. You can buy a woman though.
You can buy a body.
Okay.
There you go.
You can buy a vessel.
Okay.
You can have an exchange for a service from a woman, whether it's time, sex, or time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Those aren't substances, right? So you can buy those. That's called solicitation and prostitution. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
You asked about high functioning, low value.
Yeah.
A high value, low functioning guy has a lot of money, has value, but he has low functioning behavior. He can't process his emotions. He has a lot of narcissistic characteristics. If the conversation goes in a way that doesn't work for him, guess what? on to the next,
It's a lot
or
of
he's
men
gonna
like that.
sabotage, or he doesn't want to have this conversation anymore, or you're just not conducive for him, right? So in that circumstance I just described, that's a man who is more than likely doing what? Buying a woman.
So
I didn't say better, buying a body. Because you can't buy a woman, you're buying a body. You're buying a body.
So tell me this. So would a woman prefer low value, high functioning man? Is that something you would prefer?
Good question.
A woman?
No, I'm speaking to you.
Oh, me. So I love that. So if I had to choose between a high value, low functioning, right? Or a high functioning, low value man, I would take the low value, high functioning.
You would?
I have to have a man who loves me, supports me, who understands intimacy, not just sex, who can hold a conversation with me, an intellectual conversation, who can be transactional and relational with me, who, when my strong opinion gets strong, he can sit in the discomfort of that. When his strong opinion gets strong, I can sit in that discomfort and still make him dinner. I can still make sure Daddy has what he needs in the morning for work. I can still make sure that he is well taken care of.
You still respect him like a high value man?
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point in your life,
Now let me be clear. I didn't say a man who was lazy or broke didn't work. Because low value men just means they make less money. They're not men that don't work. These men are educated. These men are working. They're blue collar men. Blue collar men make six figures. They make six figures.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel if a man makes six figures, I don't really classify him as low value, man. You reached the six figure point.
So, and this is the thing, right?
this is very subjective.
There you go.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Low value is subjective.
Okay.
I always say, for me personally, I'm not clocking the dollar amount that my husband makes. It's what lifestyle can we provide ourselves and our family collectively.
See, this is the stuff that the men are supposed to be focused on. You know, the whole point, in my opinion, y'all let me know what y'all think. It's for the man. This is why men work so hard. This is why the expectation is on the man to provide and protect. Why? Because he has to think about a family if that's what he wants. These conversations should be had with men. The men are the ones who's supposed to determine the lifestyle, how he wants to raise his family, and the type, the life he wants to live and create for his family. The problem why this is not working is because it's the women who are out here trying to determine a lifestyle that they want with a man. And that's supposed to be the man's job, in my opinion. He's supposed to determine, hey, the lifestyle that he's going to build for his family. But because we have women who are out of order and women who are trying to do things the way they want to do it, it's all messed up. Let's continue.
So it's a lifestyle we can provide because you don't need a lot of money for certain lifestyles.
Okay, I heard what you're saying. So would you take a high functioning man making $50,000 a year?
That wouldn't fit my lifestyle.
So you wouldn't take him?
Not because he makes $50,000.
Why?
Right?
Because he makes
Because he makes 50 high functioning.
It's not the judgment of the dollar amount.
What is
It's
it?
because of where I'm at in my lifestyle. So it wouldn't be equally yoked. It wouldn't be yin yang for me. Now, let's just say.
So that's the reason, though.
That's the reason.
Cheyenne, because you said you wouldn't take me pay $50,000. It's not about judgment. It's about the fact that you just can't pay for what you need to
What
pay
I'm saying
for,
is,
right?
if a woman is in the space where she's making $80,000, and this man can add to whatever her lifestyle is, and he makes $50,000, for her that is conducive. I'm not gonna say that amount I make, but I do really, really well. And so if I got with a man who's making $50,000, I would be the breadwinner and I would be taking full care of him because the lifestyle that I have for myself and my family wouldn't be fair to him because he would come in and he wouldn't even be able to slightly provide.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense. I wouldn't take a man and make
But what I'm saying
$50,000.
is, but it goes further than that because psychologically that would impair that man. That would impact that man. I've yet to meet a man who doesn't want to be able to add or provide when he is saying, I'm ready to be a husband and I'm ready to be a father. Those men who are family men, not street men, family men, they take pride in providing for their wives. And so
Yeah, men take pride in providing for their families, their wives, their children, their families. That's true. But at the same time, and this is why a lot of these women will be single because you've priced yourself out of, how they say, you price yourself out of the dating market. You're looking for rich men, and these rich men don't want what you present. So it's a catch-22. It's like, okay, you won't date a man who makes $50,000 because you make way more, so more than him. So you're gonna emasculate him and you're gonna treat him bad. That's what you're saying because you don't know how to respect a man for being a man. You're only looking at the dollar amount. And she says she wasn't, but you are. That's a contradiction. You're looking at the dollar amount. You surely are looking at the dollar amount because you're saying 50,000. You're not thinking, okay, bring your 50,000, babe. I make a lot more, but let's put our money together and let's make it do what it do. And and I don't care about that because I know you're a good man. No, they're not thinking about that. So it is about the dollar amount. But then if you can specify high functioning this, low value just means you don't make a whole lot of money. And that's subjective to some, which is that, okay, I could take that. And then he's high functioning, but you would accept a high functioning man with low value. But then what is considered low value then? Because if $50,000 is low value to you, then what is low value? How much money would he have to make to not be considered low value, I guess, and still high functioning? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any goddamn sense, in my opinion. These women are just trying to justify and find new ways to say why they're going to be single for the rest of their lives. And most of them are going to have to end up doing in vitro fertilization and going to get a baby, because ain't nobody trying to give them a baby, because that's going to be a problem. So they're going to have to go get their own babies and be single mothers and take care of that child by themselves, because ain't no man taking you seriously at this age. And with this mentality, it's just not going to work. Let's continue.
If that man can't provide, that is a direct emasculation on his own.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm a little confused because you said it wouldn't be because he makes 50,000, but that is the reason, right?
No. I'm taking accountability and saying it would be because of what I make. It would be because of where I am in my life. So it wouldn't be because you make $50,000. You ain't. It would be because of where I am in my life, right?
Right.
You just wouldn't be a good fit. I wouldn't be a good fit for you.
Right. Do you want to be married eventually?
Yes,
you do.
I will.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you believe you're not married already?
Well, I mean, one, I wanted to wait until my career was fully really to the space it is now. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have kids, for me personally, born in deficit. They're born in equity, and equity is not just financial things, right? Accolades and things I can offer surfacely or externally. But I wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I'm not just choosing a husband, but I'm choosing a father. A lot of women choose husbands, and then they go, he's not a great father. And of course, you don't know if he's good at either until you are in the experience of him. But you can use something called wisdom that can help you choose better. Doesn't mean you're going to choose perfect. And it doesn't mean that I'm exempt from divorce or I'm exempt from any of the things, because I'm not, that come with a marriage or a relationship whatsoever. But yeah, I wanted to wait until I am exactly where I am now. And so this year, I said on other shows as well that I took my IUD out this year, and I am now ready to be married. And I think that if more people did it on their terms, I think that marriage would be healthier. Not perfect. Doesn't mean it's without problem. I think.
Yeah, nothing's perfect. And just because you took your IUD out and you're ready doesn't mean it's going to just happen like this. It should have been happened. That's what I'm saying. And it's not going to just happen. This is the sentiment that you hear from a lot of women, that is that, oh, I'm going to go get my education. I'm going to get my career to where I want. What's the whole point of getting your career to a point and then turn around wanting a man to take care of you? Let's really dive into that. What is the point of having these big careers and making all this money if you gonna turn around and want a man to come in and live up to your expectations of the life you've already created by yourself? Men would love to build with a woman. You I present a lifestyle and you on board with it, and y'all see it through. That's building, and y'all build your families. How are you gonna build with somebody if you've already built your life? You've already created the lifestyle that you wanted. The husband has no say. You're now expecting him to come in and live up to your lifestyle. So he can't come in and create the lifestyle that he would want. He has to come in and live up to your expectations of what you've already created. He has to walk into the house that you've already purchased. He has to walk into the finances that you've already built up, even though that your finances, he can't even touch that. That has nothing to do with him. You just hold on to yours, and he has to come in and make what you make to provide for you 100% of the time, while you take all this money that you work hard for. You make good money and you just stacking it aside, and he got to come in and make what you make or more, or a certain amount, because otherwise he's not going to be able to take care of you. So most men don't want that, because most men want to create their own lifestyles. That's just bottom line. They want to create the type of life that they want. And it may not be the life that you've already set up for yourself. So this is why a lot of educated boss chicks, it's going to be very difficult for them to get a man. Men who make a lot of money, men who make less money, no man wants to be with these types of women, because they know there is a mentality, this strong, woman mentality is going to be there. She's going to be very demanding. She's set in her ways. Well, you don't get to be your 40s and just be so cooperative. No, when you get to that point, and especially when you've accomplished something, oh, you're not going to be the most cooperative person, especially when it comes to women. Women, their education and the money that they make, oh, it goes to their head. As soon as they make money, oh, you can't tell them. It's like, oh, who the hell you think you are? You know who I am. I this and I'm that. Oh, it's inevitable. You gonna hear this come out of these types of women's mouth. It's inevitable. You'll be hard pressed to find a woman who's educated and done well for herself, who's not going to talk like that. And once again, no man wants to come into an already made, built lifestyle, and then where you dictate to him what he got to come with. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's something the man's supposed to do, and you follow his lead. But these women have already created the lead. They've already created their lifestyles, and they want you to come in on the back end, but they want you to come and pay for everything that they've created by themselves. That doesn't make any sense to me. And a lot of men don't want to do that. So yeah, this low value, high functioning doesn't matter, because if he don't make enough money for you to come in and take care of you fully, then you won't accept him. And that's what we're seeing. And then the men that make all the money, they don't want you either. So you're in a rock and a hard place. You just have to accept being single and love it. Let's continue.
That it would be a happier marriage because you're doing it from a place of, I now as a woman or as a man, I'm ready. And I feel like I have the things I want to offer my partner, not what can I get from you. I want to get married because I'm lonely. I want to get married because, I need economic help here. I want to get married because I want to have someone that's on my arm. Those aren't reasons to get married. I now feel like I have the things I want to offer my husband, not just, what I had in the past, which would have been good enough because I was engaged, twice. But for me, I want to be able to be like, listen, I did all this work, baby, not just for me, but I had my husband in mind. I did this entire time that I was building my career, that I was building, my family, which is my mother and my brothers and my siblings. I was building my character. I was building my way of being of service to my husband. And I was building my attitude of gratitude. I was fixing my abandonment. I was fixing the internal things that I felt would cause impairment through experience of other relationships I've been in. I was fixing knowing when to shut the hell up and allow him to just be a man. I was fixing my emotional intelligence. And so if people would work on themselves first, the relationship won't be perfect, but it'll damn sure be mature and it'll be a lot better than the relationships and marriages that are in my office and that I see everybody put a mask on.
Okay, what you're saying there, do you think your profession make you look at relationships and marriage different?
Well, who gave you these questions?
Nobody.
You goes with all these questions.
I got a lot on my plate.
I love it.
So you said, do I think it makes me look at them?
I said, do you think your profession make you look at relationships and marriage different?
You know what? Not just my profession per se. It's the married couples who I know personally.
Okay.
Who are friends and family. There are more married couples that are engaging in infidelity than there are single people who are having sex.
That's crazy. Is that statistical or you just think that? Like you just see that based on your perception?
So I haven't researched it.
Okay.
Say studies. If I did, I would say studies show. I haven't researched say study, but I've been in my field for 17, 18 years. I'm 42. Majority of the people around me are married.
Oh, you 42? Okay,
yeah.
Are you 42?
From family all the way down to friends are married.
Yeah.
I'm on the biggest relationship live podcast now, Tonight's Conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have my talk show, Two Talks. I've been doing this a long time. I co-produce a whole show around relationship, Teen Mom Family Reunion, the #1 show on MTV. When I take all that in collective, married people are sleeping with other married people. Married people are sleeping with single people. And majority of the single people are being pursued by married people. So it's not my clients per se, because my clients give me hope. My clients actually, I admire them because they're coming to session and they're wanting to work on it. They're putting in work. Yeah. They want to be there. They're not only investing their money, their time, they're crying, they're reshaping, they're doing the work. And you can see them want it so bad. That part, that part turns me on about marriage. That part is like, that's the work. That's the love. That's the part that's exciting, that, two people who really want each other, not codependently need each other, but they want to do this.
You're very articulate and you're very, very strong. Do you feel like in your relationships that comes into your relationship and can be a hindrance to like communication? Because with you being an expert, it can be intimidating to a man who's just trying to
be a damn man.
Yeah, trying to be a man and trying to have a conversation with his woman, but then you come in talking about, analyzing him.
Gaslighting.
Yeah,
Dissect that.
exactly.
Unpack that. You feel that.
He's like, I'm gone.
I'm out of here so quick. Right. So do you do that? Do you feel like you've ever had the issue where you start to
Without knowing it.
like, yeah.
So if I don't know, then I wouldn't know. But meaning like if I didn't know I was doing it, I didn't know. But from my awareness, no. From my awareness, no. And interesting enough, when I've had men who I'm dating go, I know you're not at work, but I want to ask you. I'm like, because I'm not at work. And I'm a hybrid, right? So Dr. Bryant is an intellect and is a analyst and is a psychology expert. And when my doctor hat is on, I am completely tapped in, tuned in, and all the way into you guys' pain. I'm I'm in it with you. I'm not on the opposite side of this couch. Like, when we're in session, I'm literally in this with you. And I am feeling and moving and I'm so invested, right? But when I am not with my clients and I'm not in my profession, I'm just a woman trying to be a woman.
Yeah, once again, I don't believe the hype when it comes to her. And I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. I do. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think a lot of these women are just bullshit. And I think they're in it for the grift of it all. You know what I mean? The financial gain of it all. I don't think they don't have the experience to back up what they're saying. You don't have the husband. To me, once again, if I'd rather hear married women, married men, couples who've been married for years and have families. They, to me, can give you the best advice when it comes to actual. I don't care if you're a psychologist can give you certain aspects of how the mind thinks and the brain and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing, but being a psychologist doesn't make you an expert on relationships unless you have a relationship and also you got that to kind of back that up. Other than that, the experience to me is the best teacher. That's how I've seen it. That's what I believe.